money.
Michael Jackson, in the peak of his career, was a stellar businessman. As his life wore on and he became more of a reclusive individual and less of an entertainer, you know, enablers, entourages, handlers really screwed his finances up, and I think he withdrew from Michael Jackson, the brand, very much so, and allowed people to kind of hijack his finances.
The estate has been hijacked by strangers.
The estate has been hijacked by strangers.
Oxman says even today, the Jackson family is kept out of the loop by executors. People, he says, Michael Jackson did not like and even tried to fire.
We have a letter here, Mr. Oxman, that was brought by Twiggy. Is it okay to read a little bit of this letter?
You sure can.
Go right ahead, Twiggy.
Okay, it's a letter from Michael Jackson to John Branca, and first line, this is to confirm that I am terminating the services of you and your firm effective upon delivery of this letter. This letter was delivered February 2003.
Now, is that MJ's signature down there?
That is Michael Jackson's signature.
Let's show. Can I show this to everybody? Let's pan in on this letter from Mr. Michael Jackson, the greatest celebrity in the world.
Can you imagine that Michael Jackson terminated the administrator of his estate, said, "You're fired, go away."
Wow.
Further in that letter, it says you are to deliver all documents and you are to resign from all positions that you ever had with Michael Jackson. So we have those people who Michael Jackson said, "You are no longer part of my life, you are not to have anything to do with me ever again." They are the administrators of his estate.
I own half of Sony's publishing, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, you know. The way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album.
He had very valuable assets, primarily his stake in the Beatles catalog, which he shared with Sony. Sony had about 50% of the catalog. Michael had the other 50% as of late 2005. And at the time we reported it then, the value of the catalog was about $1 billion. But he had blown through so much money, spending on such things as personalized Bentleys, customized art, estates. At the time he also owed about $270 million to a major bank, Bank of America. And at that time, late 2005, early 2006, there was a big wrestling match going on over the rights to his stake in the catalog if he couldn't pay the loan back.
And the system, many of the record companies totally take advantage of it. And it's not like they always say, you know, they build a big house, they spend a lot of money, they buy a lot of cars.
There are reports out right now, right, that Michael Jackson passed away with up to $400 million in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And, you know, he was renting that mansion he was living in. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So a man who's $400 million in debt, does he need to rent a mansion?
Hey.
Right.
But come on, keep it real, man. How do you burn through all that money? He made $750 million from his album sales alone, let alone the Beatles deal that he did, let alone the concerts. He sold 61 million albums, okay? And then he ran out of all that money, and then another 400 million on top. And why? Because he was apparently burning through, what was it, like 20 or 30 million dollars a year more than he was making, okay? Mm-hmm. But so the question I had was, who's lending him the money? I mean, what kind of jackass do you have to be? Like, this guy's $400 million in debt. People letting him stay in that house, giving him the money to be able to pay that rent. you know, they're giving him hundreds of millions of dollars in loans. I think they were crazy. I wouldn't have done it, but that's...
So I watched these businessmen, and I watched them advance this money to Michael, throwing the money into the black hole that was his life in disarray, and never believing that he would ever really consummate the comeback.
This is very important because throughout the years, black artists have been taken advantage of completely. And it's time now that we have to put a stop to this incredible injustice. And like Mr. Sharpton was saying, people from James Brown to Sammy Davis Jr., some of the real pioneers that inspired me to be the entertainer that I am. These artists are always on tour because if they stop touring, they would totally go broken. And it's been, the record companies really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the black artists.
It's time for a change. And let's not leave this building and forget what has been said. Put it into your heart, put it in your subconscious mind, and let's do something about it. We have to. Because it's been a long time coming. And a change has got to come.
Michael Jackson has been working on a comeback in the music biz. The King of Pop's new album is expected late this year, and plans for a supporting concert tour, his first in a decade, are in place.
This is it. I go through hell. I go through hell touring.
Shocking news from Los Angeles tonight. NBC News has confirmed pop superstar Michael Jackson is dead at the age of 50.
Michael Jackson's death really shook the world a year ago. But Jackson's financial empire may be worth more in death than it was in life.
But I think ultimately you will find Michael Jackson is going to be worth more in death than he is in life.
All right, what happened to the money after he died, the estate, the value thereof?
Well, he's already grossed about $1 billion in revenues based on music sales, film, TV, and music publishing. And basically, when you look...
Wait. Since his death, $1 billion has flowed into the estate.
Into the estate. When you look at it, he's made $383 million in music sales alone, and about $34 million of that is downloads. But when you look at the film This Is It, which was a blockbuster hit, that was $260 million, and then you count in the DVD rentals and the DVD sales, that's another about $70 million. On the music publishing side, he still owns, remember, the Sony ATV catalog, which includes the Beatles catalog and about 200,000 other songs. Based on a multiple of 8 to 10 times publishers' net share, Jackson is bringing in about $80 million a year on that alone, and that's not including his own publishing catalog, which is about $150 million. So when you look at it, Michael Jackson is making money exponentially over time.
And he's not around to spend it in a wild fashion.
Exactly, and as you know, he was in debt when he died to the tune of $300 to $500 million, and now he's about $900 million that he's made this year.
Yeah. You know, enablers, entourages, handlers really screwed his finances up, and I think he withdrew from Michael Jackson, the brand, very much so, and allowed people to kind of hijack his finances.
Other celebrities their estate has gained in value after their death. I'm thinking of Elvis. There must be others.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy because this morning I was doing some more research on this, and there's actually a word for deceased celebrities. They call them celebrities, okay, and that's a morbid concept. But when you think about it, Elvis made $55 million himself last year, and one of the things he made money off of was a Barbie doll, which is a kind of a jailhouse rock Barbie doll. But
how close this is to Elvis as far as the death is concerned.
I think that it's a lot closer to Elvis in every regard.
Michael was the manipulator.
I have listened to 3 or 4 reports. Wrong information, wrong dates, wrong times, wrong addresses, wrong everything. And people are listening to this and they're believing what they're hearing yet again about Michael Jackson.
Michael was very, very healthy. He had passed physicals for the show. His heart was in They had said he suffered a heart attack and all this kind of stuff. He was very, very healthy. But Michael was not with us way before he arrived to the airport.